Hello, YouTube and X. It's your main man, BTM here, bringing you back to the BTM Crypto News Network. So thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and super chat if you can. Just trying to keep the lights on here on the BTM Crypto News Network. Thank all the XRP holders, all the XRP Army. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, XRP holders, Ripple researchers, institutional detectives, and everybody who checked their portfolio today and suddenly remembered their password. Welcome back to the BTM Crypto News Network. So I'm pretty sure you know by now, XRP is finally moving, right? XRP is back. We are live. The price jumped around 13% during the first 24-hour period. Trading activity exploded. XRP pushed through several important resistance, and Ripple is reportedly targeting a 1 billion annual revenue. 1 billion annual revenue run rate by the end of 2026. Without counting the value of the XRP holdings. Now, before someone starts measuring the garage for Lambos, let me show this train down. This is bullish movement. This is a meaningful volume. This is important Ripple business target, but this is not proof that XRP has entered a completely new bull market. One strong day does not ease months of bear structure. Your cousin's posting rocket emojis is not technical confirmation. And Ripple making money doesn't mean Brad Gensinghouse is personally depositing money into your XRP chart. Today, we're going to separate three things. First, what's actually happening in the XRP market. Second, the Ripple reported $1 billion target really meaning. And third, what XRP must do next for this rally to continue into the weekend of June 20th and June 21st. I'll give you facts, chart levels, bullish scenarios, bear scenarios, and the line where the breakout starts looking suspicious. So type breakout in the chat if you believe XRP is finally waking up. Type prove it if you see XRP hold the levels before you must trust the move. And share the stream with one XRP holder who has been emotionally injured by this chart this year. We are offering free group therapy with candlesticks. Yazim, what up with you, fam? What up, Silver Days? What up, Silver? What up, fam? Thank you, Yazim. I'm still here, BTM, just going through some stuff. Hope you're all well, fam. Bay, everybody's going through something, brother. And at this point, it's only going to get crazier because XRP is starting to run. And like they say, when things get crazy, everything falls apart. Like I think the old Biggie saying, he was telling Puff Daddy, which is Sean Combs, which is P. Diddy, more money, more problems. So let me know what you guys think about that. Of course, let's get to a couple of quick shorts real quick, and then we'll get back into the analysis. So this is my main man. Who is this? Digital Asset. Let's see what he has to say real quick.
Well, remember, in 2018, XRP did somewhere in the 36,000 to 45,000% return, and it did it in a 700 to 800 billion dollar market. We're now in a 2-point-something trillion, and I don't think there's anybody that doesn't think we're heading into the tens to hundreds of trillion. Well, I asked AI, and what AI came up with, if XRP repeated that performance, and why couldn't it repeat that performance in a 10 to 100 trillion dollar market when it was able to perform like that in a $700 to $800 billion market. And the number it came up with was between $640 and $760 XRP. It's not crazy, but it doesn't mean it has to happen overnight. But I believe it will happen. When you hear the number $760 XRP, many people out there, oh, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Well, remember, in 2018, XRP did somewhere in the 36.
Yeah, shout out to Silver. Can't stop, won't stop. I know that's right. And we are up and going today. This is XRP holders need to see this. This is my main man, Crypto Sensei.
Ripple's business is payments, custody, stablecoins, and CBDCs. They got rid of CBDCs. Now, I don't think Ripple, the company, is getting rid of CBDCs. I think that there's so much misinformation on the Republican side in the United States that they have to block this part of their business from public perception, right? The hard thing about, Trump does a lot of things well, and he does a lot of things that I like, well, what are you doing? But when he makes up his mind on something, it doesn't matter how much other information that you can show him that's saying, hey, like Ripple has all of these great things going for it, but if it has like one sour apple, the whole tree is rotten, right? And so Ripple, I think, strategically removed that piece of their business, and I don't blame them, but I do think like this is a question that I would like to ask Ripple straight out. One day, maybe they'll give me an interview. I've tried everything I can to reach out to them. Ripple's business is payments.
So shout out to Crypto Sensei. Next is Jake Cleaver. Why XRP moves in sharp repricing jumps?
Double, but it's a big jump in the value of gold.
But once everything's kind of in place and maybe end of 2026 or something, but do you see it like skyrocketing, or do you just see it like kind of just doing a ladder, walk up the stairs?
I think there will be stair steps, but I think they will feel like moonshots.
Big steps, big legs, not
big
Judy
steps.
little legs.
Big jumps when it happens. We've seen this. This is historical for XRP. If you look at the chart and the price action over time, when XRP runs, it runs. It's not like it's it's hundreds of percents in a day sometimes.
Right.
Now, in a repricing moment, when everything, changes with global pricing, gold and everything else, I don't know what that looks like. We've seen that happen a few times in the past, and that's when governments have repriced things. They collected all the gold at $20 an ounce in 1933, and then 6 months later they were like, "Hey, it's $35 an ounce." Ta-da! Yeah. Which that's it's not quite double, but it's a big jump in the value of gold. If you just looked at the historical data on the chart, and again, I'm not a TA person,
right,
but 38,000% is what I think XRP ran from the last bottom to the top at 384. We were at half a penny all the way to $3.94.
It was amazing. Yeah.
If you had a similar logarithmic move here with a percentage to the upside, that puts you 3-4 digit range in a very short period of time. That's the scenario that I think is likely to play out when there's a supply constraint. Again, like I mentioned before, if there's significant demand and not enough supply on the exchanges, that's when you're going to see the chart kind of gap up instead of run like a Solana or some of the other tokens that we've seen.
But once everything's kind of in place and maybe end of 2026 or something, but do you see it like skyrocketing, or do you just see it?
So shout out to Jake for that update, keeping it moving. This is Dr. Kamal Stevenson.
To become very expensive. And that's the part that the CEO of SBI Holdings, who runs the parent company of Japan's largest online brokerage and one of the most important financial groups in all of Asia, said two things on record. First, he said publicly that he expects XRP to become very expensive. And that's the part that a lot of people are quoting. But then he also says something that a lot of people may have not mentioned, and that is that the United States Senate needs to pass the Clarity Act immediately because his firm's institutional expansion plans for digital asset settlement across Asia depend on U.S. regulatory clarity to scale globally.
If you want help actually building out your plan, join my wait list below.
The CEO of SBI Holdings, who
So shout out to those content creators. What up, Dave? Appreciate it, Bay. This is the crypto bubble, and you can see it's a lot of green in the market. I wanted to make a video earlier, but I got busy and got busier and kept getting busy. And then people started calling, freaking out about the market going up, and then questions and more investment advice. So I didn't really have time, but I finally got caught up and able to make a video. And you can see here, XPR is up 7.3% on the day, down up 0.3 on the 4 hour, down 0.8 on the hour. I don't know if there was a major announcement or what, but the market is pushing hard today. Zcash is up 21%. Bitcoin Clash is up 11.5. Quant's up 4.6. Metal's up 5.5. Monero's up 9.6. Algorand's up 4.6. Jupiter's up 11. World Mobile Token is up 2.3. Canon Networks up 3.3. XCN's up 1.4. Hyperliquid. I told you guys, check out Hyperliquid. Hyperliquid's up 10.1% on the day, down 0.7 on the 4 hour, up 0.4 on the hour. For the week, up 5.2. For the month, up 61.9. And for the year, up 64.3. Keeping it moving. Chainlink's up 5.3. Cubic is up 8.5. Swarms is up 5.8. Ondo's up 4.8. SQD is up 3.9. Radian's up 7.2. And Ingestive is up 12.2. ZBCN is up 8.6 on the day, down 0.6 on the 4 hour, down 2.2 on the hour. For the week, up 7.5. For the month, up 14.5. And for the year, up 33.2. XNO's up 4.6. TON tokens up 2.2. Piles up 4.5. AVAS is up 4.7. Bitcoin SV's up 5.4. Mudan's up 3.5. XLM is up 20.7 on the day. For the hour, it is down 3.6 for the 4 hour. For the hour, it's up 0.6. For the week, it is up 8%. For the month, it is up 46.9. For the year, it's still down 13%. For the Dash is up 7.3. Neo Protocol's up 14.6. Cardano is up 6.3. Hash Flow's up 2.6. Ethereum Classic is up 5.4. FET is up 6.2. Telecoin is up 7.7 on the day, down 2.4 on the 4 hour, unchanged on the hour. For the week, it is up 5.4. For the month, it is up 13.9. For the year, it is up 35.4. CVX is up 5.2. Stronghold, I guess you guys are right. Stronghold on the day is up 16.9. For the 4 hours, down 3.8. For the hour, it's up 0.2. For the week, it is up 7.4. For the month, it's up 4.2. For the year, it is down 62.3. Solana's up 8.5. Kita is up 7.5. Flare's up 2.2. Helium is up 1.8. Gala is up 3.2. Bear is up 2.3. Dex is up 6%. Nexo's up 3.6. Polymesh is up 3.5. HBAR is up 5.8 on the day. Let me know if there are any other cryptos you guys are watching. Now looking at the big boys, the market movers. Bitcoin is 66,526, up 2.8 on the day. On the 4 hour, it is down 0.6. On the hour, it's unchanged. For the week, it's up 4.3. For the month, it's down 15%. For the year, it is down 36.9. Keeping it moving. Next on the list is Ethereum. Ethereum is up 7.6 on the day to still under 1,819. For the hour, it is down 0.7. For the 4-hour trip, it's down 0.7. For the hour, it is down 0.1. For the week, it's up 6.1. For the month, it is down 16.6. And for the year, it's down 21.6. And now over to our favorite cross-border remittance processor is up 8.6 on the day. For the 4-hour, it is down 1.8. For the hour, it's down 1.3. For the week, it's up 6.2. For the month, it is up down 11.1. And for the year, it's down 41.9. And I told you guys, it is time for XRP to move. This is the time we have been waiting for. It's only a matter of time. And this is without clarity, right? I don't know if you guys are keeping track, but it is up without clarity. So for the market snapshot, let's begin with the numbers. During the last 24-hour window, XRP traded around the upper $1.20 area after rising above 12% to 13%, depending on the exchange and the exact time the data was captured. Coinbase showed XRP at $1.28. CoinMarketCap showed XRP at $1.27. Total 24-hour trading volume is around 3 billion across the major market data platforms. The most important number may not be the price increase, it may be the percent increase in volume. CoinGecko reported that XRP's daily volume had increased by 270% from the previous day. That matters because the price can move on thin volume. A low volume pump can happen because there's not enough sale orders in the way. It looks exciting, but it'll disappear faster than an influencer's price prediction after the market turns red. This XRP move had a participation behind it. More buyers showed up, more capital changed hands. Resistance levels were challenged with actual activity rather than just 3 traders with emotional speeches. However, volume confirmed participation, not performance. A major increase in volume tells us the market is paying attention and does not tell us with certainty whether those participants are long-term buyers, short-term momentum traders, or short coverings or leveraged traders preparing to take profit. And this is why we watch what happens after the first explosive candle. Can XRP hold the breakout area? Does the volume remain elevated during consolidation? Do buyers defend former resistance when the price returns to test it? And that is how we distinguish a developing trend from a one-day emotional event. Everyone in the chat answer. Did you buy XRP below 115 or were you waiting for a confirmation? Let me know in the chat. So before we get to what caused XRP to move, let's keep through the numbers. What up, Dave? What's going on with your fam? So the overall crypto market is up 5.19% to 2.29 trillion, almost at 2.3, which has been a long time, guys. We've been watching this for months, and this hasn't been up 5% in the overall market for a long time. Crypto market cap CNC 20 is $135.87, up 3.47%. Fear and greed is out of extreme fear and into fear. Altcoin season is 49 out of 50, so we're pulling away again from the Bitcoin dominance. And this is the key factor to look at here. Crypto relative strength index is in overbought territory. And it has been a while since it has pumped to overbought territory, right? Everybody's buying something. Arizona Financial is up 22%. Alchemist is up 6. Yarn is up 10. Here we can look at the actual. Oh wow, Siren's up 90%. Trying to see where XRP is on this chart. That's weird. So XRP is here up 8.59 to 319 billion, right above our favorite Zubek, which is up 8.34 on the day. That's interesting. Moving over to the XRP price. XRP is $1.25, up 8.18% on the day. Market cap is 77.7 billion, up 8.18%. The 24-hour volume is 3.1 billion, up 270%, guys. Make sure you are keeping up. XRP is gaining momentum again. The token has surged 13% in the last 24 hours, while Whale's wallet continues to accumulate aggressively. Large holders now control 74% of the total XRP supply, highlighting the growing influence of major players on the market and this smart money positionings ahead of the next move or concentration risk investors should watch closely. Interesting. While the crowd was loading up on shorts, whales are quietly withdrawing XRP from exchanges. 89 million XRP removed from Binance, funding rates at multi-month lows. Supply is shrinking, short interest is growing, and this is a dangerous combination. That's interesting. So we need to jump over to the actual numbers, move this out of the way. So this is actually, I want to look at the exchanges first. So this is the XRP radar. Wait, what was that? Clarity Act passes the Senate Banking Committee. Oh, okay. So that must be what's going on. Oh yeah, back to the radar. So I'm not sure why this news article is here, which is kind of weird. It's also weird that this guy is on the actual.
Hey, everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor.
Is this a new article? So on the exchanges, 35.7 in escrow, circling supply 64.2 billion, burnt 14.4 million. RSUSD is 1.64 billion. Tokenized RWA is up to 2.6 billion, almost at 3 billion. That's something to change. On exchanges, 14.2 billion. In ETFs is 926.6 million. So it's keeping it moving. Is there an option to go? Well, I don't like looking at white screens like this, man. Looking at screens all day, this white screen throws my eyes off. So Upbit is 5.4 billion, 38.4% of the total supply. Binance is 2.32 billion, 16.3%. BitThumb added 2.8 million, 1.85 billion, 13% of the on-chain. Uphold is 1.63 billion, up 11.5%. BitBank is down 316,575 million, 4% of the exchange. CoinCheck lost 16,555 million, 3.9% of the total volume on exchanges. eToro is 65,000 down, 482 million, 3.4%. Looks like this is getting close race here between BitBank, CoinCheck, eToro, and Crypto.com. Crypto.com added 2.8 million to 335 million, 2.4% of the on-chain supply. Coin one, 1.2 million, 314, lost 1.2 million, 314 million on chain with 2.2%, and Bitflyer added 17,000 to 190 million, 1.3% of the on-chain supply. So let me know what you guys think about that. For the XRP Ledger, distributed asset value is 368.2 million, down 8.81% on the month. RWA count is 302. Represented asset value is 3.57 billion, down 0.36%. Stablecoin market cap is 889.4 million, up 71.78% on the month. And this is the big one. RWA holders is 116, up 87.10% on the month. Stablecoin holders is 59,000, up 0.98 on the month. RWA 30-day transfers is 66.85 million, down 54.46. And stablecoin 30-day transfer is 4.76 billion. So just looking here, distributed is RWA with 758 million, Ondo 257 million, Brazar Capital 177 million, Economy 40 million, Open Eden Digital 38 million. So keeping it moving, we need to go back to the ETF terminal. And the ETFs are running crazy. 29.4 million. Leverage trading is 25.2 million, which is a massive number. The last time we were here was June 4th, and that was 70 million. See if can we go in? I guess we can. Yeah, see, so we were around 159 million initially. Next pump was 125 million. Last 85 million was 52 days. Then it was 87 million. And now today we were at 58 million. So if we look at the actual spots holding, Bitwise XRP ETF is down 1.02% to $14.26, 18.25 million. XRP Franklin Templeton is down 0.97 to $13.87, 5.3 million. Canary Capital is 13.55%, down 1.07% to 4.4 million. Grayscale XRP is down 0.68% to $24.6 with 992,000 24-hour trading volume. Rex Offspray is actually up 12%. I knew I should have kept that. Rex freaking spots. I bought all what is this? Bitwise, Franklin Templeton. Actually, I think I have all of them. But I sold some of my Rex Offspray to buy Bitwise, and Bitwise down 243 and 24-hour trading volume, and they're at $10.47. 21 shares is $12.40, down 0.71%. So this must be the market moving. These are the derivative traders. So Turcom 2X is $3.14, up 25.6% to 13.6 milwon. Volatility shares 25.4%, up $33.14, 7.29 milwon. Volatility shares is 12.74% to $7.00. Pro shares is up 25.75% to $15.09. Amplified 3X is 9.7% up to $12.35. We looked at this. Look at that guy. Look at this guy. Coin market cap up 8.1% on the day. So this is the BTM Crypto News Network. Make sure you guys are following. Just stay current on news and events. XRP, that's old news actually. Ripple launched XRPL AI Starter Kit. This is this changes everything. Abu Dhabi airports are preparing to accept payments in XRP. What? With 29 million passengers move through the Dubai airport every year, this is how mass adoption starts. XRP is becoming impossible to ignore. That's what's up. That is what's up. 14 million XRP just left Upbit in a single transaction. That's roughly 17.3 million moving off exchange into a private wallet. And I implore you guys, get off the exchanges. Get you a self-custody wallet. Get you a tangent wallet and move off the exchange. Because when this goes crazy, the exchanges are going to try to lock it up. If you're not on the exchange, you don't have to worry about it. Not your keys, not your crypto. Breaking news, XRP holders, your time has come. If you're on XRP today, you're holding the key of the future global finance. XRP is set to become a cornerstone in the revolutionary ISO 20022 financial messaging standards, transforming the way value is transferred across borders. And that's not all. ISO 20022 will launch alongside the quantum financial system. What? Usher in a new era of transparency, efficiency, and security. XRP and ISO 20022. XRP is posed to take the center stage at the ISO 20022 ecosystem as the bridge asset with unmatched speed, scalability, and cost efficiency. XRP aligns seamlessly with the goals of the standard, and its integration into ISO 20022 or 222 protocol positions XRP as a pivotal player in enabling frictionless cross-border payments and financial operations. Have you ever wondered why XRP has a destination tag? It's the ultimate feature for precise and security, mirroring the way SWIFT operates in banking today. Everything is prepared and the launch is intimate. XRP tax-free ERA. Hong Kong is now offering a 0% capital gains tax on crypto. The world's biggest financial hub are competing to attract digital wealth. Money goes where it's treated best. Road to global XRP adoption just got a lot shorter. See if we can run this back.
各位朋友，大家好。当今世界正经历100年未有之大变局，面对共同挑战，我们必须加强合作。中国将坚持趋生一些绿色、开放共享的发展理念。各位朋友。
Okay, not 100% sure that made much help. I didn't know what the guy was talking about. Breaking news, Japan greenlights XRP. The government just legally classified XRP as an official financial asset under the FIEA, locking in a new crypto law. The global financial reset is officially in motion, and the powers that be are quietly backing XRP to run the new system. Why is the government backing it so aggressively if they don't already know what's coming? That's a good question, actually. This is breaking news. Wall Street is betting on XRP as a security, an 11% allocation in the T Rowe Price Active Crypto ETF, bullish for XRP. Oh, wow. T Rowe Price is about to get an ETF? Bro, things are going crazy. Wallets are holding 1 million XRP, now controls 74% of the entire supply. That's 1.5 billion XRP accumulated by millionaires' wallets in just 6 months. Even though the chop, retail panic, and a solid dip, whales kept stacking. And I told you guys, this is a distraction to get you guys out. They're going to keep buying. Kashi bet on XRP. More than 20% of traders on Kashi now believe President Trump will create a national XRP reserve before the end of the year. Let's freaking go, man. XRP reserve is coming. Please and thank you. Please and thank you.
This doesn't mean more than 20% of traders on Kalshi now believe that President Donald Trump could establish a national XRP reserve before the end of this year. This doesn't mean it's guaranteed to happen, but it does reveal a significant shift in market sentiment. More investors are beginning to see the possibility of XRP playing a strategic role in the future of the US financial system. As institutional adoption continues to grow and the conversation around digital assets gains momentum, XRP remains one of the most talked about cryptocurrencies in the world. The question now is simple. Is the market getting ahead of the news? Or are we witnessing the early stages of something much bigger? Only time will tell.
So let me know what you guys think about that. This is USA will ban XRP for retail. The XRP price set at $1,000 confirms David's Apple and Android just integrated XRP payments. Say what?
Because the banks are about to be. David Shorts just dropped the XRP price, and what was highlighted is that XRP, if you bought $10,000 worth back in 2016, well, it'd be worth over $3.4 million. That's the numbers that we're talking about, $3.4 million. And well, you have another opportunity because the banks are about to begin restricting the XRP for retail. Banks like USA to ban XRP for all retail as XRP $10,000 price is set. Yes, we're talking about the same XRP that's currently only $1.25 is about to reach as high as $10,000. And it's because the US SWIFT system is about to be replaced by the XRP Ledger and RippleNet, which is going to unlock the game for over $1.5 quadrillion market. And imagine that if that gets integrated, if it actually happens, $3,000 instantaneously and $10,000 by the end of that year. And it's happening because the XRP Ledger in and of itself is expanding. Like, for example, the XRP Ledger payment app officially went live on iOS and Android powered by RealFi, which powers the entire framework using the #1 DeFi token on the XRP Ledger, the Real token. And it's highlighted here that RealFi has launched the XRP Ledger Power Payments app on Apple App Store and Google Play Store. But that's not all. RealFi actually officially partnered with Shopify to integrate the #1 DeFi token on the XRP Ledger, the Real token, to over 5.5 million Shopify merchants. And they've onboarded Amazon, as you can see right here, and they've also onboarded Walmart. So these guys are no joke, and they're doing it again using the #1 DeFi token on the XRP Ledger, which is why some analysts predict that retail will be foreverly locked out of the XRP Ledger, and specifically the #1 DeFi token on the XRP Ledger and XRP because of how high their price will be. Like, some analysts literally anticipate that the #1 DeFi token, the Real token, is going to go from underneath a penny to over $740.50. And we're talking about the Real token, a token that I'm extremely freaking bullish on, which is only listed on MEX and BTC Exchange. It is also listed on all XRP Ledger decentralized exchanges, including XP Market. You just have to make sure that the wallet address is correct, so you guys can see like contract address. But this is so freaking bullish, and millionaires can literally be made. I'm not financial advisors, not financial advisors, do your own research on peace. David Shorts just dropped the
So let's get back to it. I need to make a call real quick, so I might just play a video and come back to Ripple reported expects to reach 1 billion annual revenue rate by the end of 2026, including the XRP holding. That is a serious business goal, but remember, Ripple's revenue doesn't equal automatic XRP price increase. Facts first, moon later. So yeah, let's go to video. I need to make a call. This is Holt Media.
A great day out there. Well, XRP is coming in and it is coming in hot today. And now I want to discuss in this video why we're seeing this pop for the price of XRP, but something much bigger. What is going to create a massive repricing for this digital asset? That's what we're going to get into in this video. But as we are up just under 9% at the time of this recording, XRP coming in that number 5 spot globally, $1.23 with this pop, and just over 2 billion in 24-hour volume, nearly 150%, 149% at the time of this recording in 24-hour volume, seeing a ton of volume. Now, why is that? We're going to get into that in this video, but something a bit deeper than just what's going on with this here recent announcement. Now, with this recent announcement, the U.S. stock market is jumping. We've got even precious metals jumping, with oil pulling back big time, as Donald J. Trump has just recently put out. The deal with Islamic Republic of Iran is now complete. Congratulations to all. I hereby fully authorize the toll-free opening of the Strait of Hormuz, and simultaneously herewith authorize the immediate removal of the United States naval blockade. Ships of the world, start your engines. Let the oil flow, writes President Donald J. Trump, as the White House put out this post of his just last night. Now, we've got Iran saying that the United States has been left with no choice but to accept the deal. But this is what is going on here. This is what is going on. We've got a peace deal that is about to get signed, and we have the markets absolutely loving it right now. And the peace deal has yet to be signed. And so this is absolutely huge for this market, huge for the stock market, huge for markets across the board, the financial markets. But, when are we going to see these assets really run hard outside of just 9% pops? That's what I want to focus on in this video, a little bit deeper than just surface level, and knowing that these markets are not forever just going to be tied to the macros and what's happening broader out there in the world. Yes, announcements like this are definitely going to help bring volume in, bring capital in, and bring some clarity to what's happening in certain situations with the United States and Iranian tensions. We, of course, recently talked and have talked many times in the videos about how this has been one of those things acting as a wet blanket on the market. Well, certain things like this. And I saw here recently Chad Steingraber putting out the fact that the DTCC went all public chains should really tell you a lot. Now, this is a step-by-step breakdown of the pipeline. I'm not going to read through this entire thing, but I want to show you something very critical to understand, to listen very closely to. The institutional pipeline triggers immediately. In talking about execution and trade capture, the institutional pipeline triggers immediately after a high volume trade, such as a digital asset like XRP, FX, or exchange traded derivatives, is filled via Ripple Prime. Now, remembering that Ripple Prime, formerly known as Hidden Road, does $3 trillion annually. And the CEO, Mike Higgins, had recently stated, XRP's role in all this, one of the big roles will be collateral. We're talking about XRP being locked up, a serious amount of demand to come onto XRP. And with this breakdown, the step-by-step breakdown, talking about execution and trade capture, the institutional pipeline will be triggered immediately. So, when we see this volume, this value flow, I believe everything's going to happen much faster than many out there think. When we're talking specifically about the price of XRP here, when we see this utility of XRP realized and actually be utilized for what it was designed to do, I think things are going to happen very quickly, and a lot of people out there still aren't seeing it. Now, Mr. Man, my buddy, I'm actually going to release an interview I recently did with him on my second channel. If you're not subscribed to my other channel, it's just my name, Jake Moulter. I just did an interview here recently with Smoke Dog, and I have that interview from yesterday uploaded if you want to check that out. Really good interview, about a little over 20 minutes if you want to check that out. But Mr. Man, we did one as well. I'm going to release it on that channel. But I just saw he put out The people building monetary policy are sitting beside the people building settlement rails. Now, listen very carefully, because all of this is extremely important to understand and talking about what is coming to this market, XRP being a big winner here. The people writing regulations, excuse me, are sitting beside the people building tokenized assets. The people running RTGS, keep this in mind, RTGS systems are sitting beside the people building stablecoins. So we're talking about the ECB, the Bank of England, Swiss National Bank, yes, Ripple, Swift, PayPal. If we take a look at these pictures, guys, with Stuart Alderati, Chief Legal Officer of Ripple, next to all of those out there, the big hard hitters that really write the rules for you and I, and that are set to move the world of finance forward, but really make the decisions for what happens. The likes of the BIS, the SWIFTs out there, the Bank of International Settlements, International Monetary Fund. That is who Ripple's been sitting down with for years leading up to this time. I sat down with my buddy Jesse from Apex Crypto a couple weeks ago, and we spoke on specifically the RTGS. These videos, these interviews don't always get the most views, but they're incredibly important because we dive a little bit deeper into what's just happening with the current news and what's breaking out there, the just in news, right? As Mr. Man, remember, put the people running RTGS systems are sitting beside the people building building stable coins. Now, listen to this very carefully.
And it also says that the regulated library network could become a global RTGS. And we've got the diagrams from the Hyperledger Foundation document that leaked 8 years ago showing how they were going to lay out the internal value, and it was showing that the XRP Ledger was the global RTGS. Now, why is it called the global RTGS? Every central bank, the majority of central banks in the world have what are called RTGS systems, real-time gross settlement systems. The reason this diagram was showing the XRP Ledger being the global RTGS is because public XRP Ledger is the RTGS for all of the RTGS. Again, because you were seeing all the central banks connecting to the XRP Ledger, and they were clearly showing these are all the RTGS systems, and they're all connecting to the public XRP Ledger, which is the global RTGS, and the global liquidity marketplace. And it was all connected via the interledger protocol. So, so this is what I would add. When you look at the project Agora, Enbridge, all these projects coming from BIS, they're talking about shared ledger concept, regulated library network, which used to be called the regulated internal value, a unified ledger concept. You'll find those concepts in all their projects. And they're using those words so that we can't figure out the XRP Ledger, but it's all the XRP Ledger.
And I recently stayed in a video about a week or two ago. One of my neighbors, he's actually got a PhD in mathematics. And we don't need him to tell us mathematically what trillions is going to do for the price of XRP as we see trillions flow on to the XRPL, bringing enormous demand. Now, when we look at the RWA tokenization right now, where did RWA money actually flow over the past 90 days? And where is this RWA money actually choosing to go? Well, it's the XRP Ledger, led by 1.9 billion in net inflows, my friends, ahead of Ethereum, ahead of Stellar. And you can see that clearly where the money flowed, the XRP Ledger taking that #1 spot. Now, also, I wanted to play this clip, and I put out a short here recently on the channel of this, but I want to play this clip right here. This is Ashish Birla, who's the CEO of Evernorth, the world's largest XRP treasury company. Play it right here.
This world unfold, you need the technology. And I really think that XRP as like the engine is really good at moving tokenized value. It's got a built-in exchange. A lot of folks didn't know that. And we're seeing that, tokenization start to increase on the XRP ecosystem, partially stable coins, but partially with some of these partnerships around Franklin Templeton and others tokenizing. And so I really do think that all of the plumbing that Ripple laid over the years of connecting into financial institutions, like that is hard work. There is no shortcutting the licensing, but that is creating this connective tissue to the real world. So I really think that XRP is really around this world of tokenized value and connecting to the real world and exchanging it.
So that's really important to understand, because just the tokenization of everything isn't going to move the price of XRP, but it's XRP moving that value, settling that value again in the sums of trillions, that is going to bring enormous demand on the XRPL, onto that digital asset, the native asset XRP, increasing the price, which is what we all want. Now, just in XRP spot ETFs, post 10.68 million in weekly net inflows. The only positive flow among major crypto ETFs, as Bitcoin saw outflows in the sums of just over 315 million, and Ethereum seeing almost 15 million, and even Solana seeing 2.5 million, all closing the week with outflows. So institutions, again, clearly choosing XRP, and so is Japan. XRP set to emerge as the biggest winner as Japan moves to treat crypto like stocks. And with the EU to delist Tether's 175 billion USDT from licensed exchanges, major exchanges including Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, and Crypto.com have removed USDT for EU users after Tether chose not to seek approval under Europe's MiCA regulations. It's just a matter of time till RLUSD, Ripple's stablecoin, steps in, takes that #1 spot as the stable coin of choice, as we see institutions and global value come to RLUSD utilized on the XRPL, bringing tremendous volume value with it. This is something that in XRP circles we've been talking about for years in the XRP community, the problems that Tether has. And guys, things are starting to heat up and things are starting to get real. Those are my thoughts, my opinions. Let me know yours in the comment section below. In the comments section below, I will have a pinned comment of I Trust Capital. They still have the $100 funding sign up bonus. When you signed up, definitely help support the channel as well as they're an affiliate. I'm going to have them in the description as well. And by the way, recently, a few days ago, I stated that YouTube has a new hype button, or you swipe across is what you do with the hype button. Thank you to everyone that stated that you are doing the hype button on these videos. Definitely helps the algorithm, helps get our voice out there. I appreciate every single one of you in the community.
That's interesting. I didn't even know they had a hype button. Are you guys swiping the hype button? Are you hyping me up? Are you hyping up the BTM Crypto News Network? Just hot from work. Howdy, everyone. What up, Phantom Beats? What up, Tyron? What did I miss, my boy? Howdy, everyone. I see that there is a little upward bump. Yes, they're slightly making moves. They are jumping the ETH ship big time to the XRP carrier USS flag. Yo, Ripple. Yeah, now somebody mentioned that Ripple is, or XRP is gonna flip Ethereum. I told you guys that, and people said I was crazy. And I told you it's only a matter of time, guys. XRP roughly jumped 13%, while 24-hour volume surged 250%, guys. Ripple reportedly expects to reach a 1 billion annual revenue run rate by the end of 2026. Just running a quick recap for you guys. Kalshi bets on XRP. More than 20% of the traders on Kalshi now believe Donald Trump will create a national XRP reserve before the end of the year. Market sentiment is shifting fast. XRP keeps moving closer to the center of the conversation. Keeping it moving. Whales buy 1 million XRP now controls 74%. Breaking news, Wall Street is betting on XRP as it secures a 12.42% allocation in the T-Roll price active crypto ETF. So I believe, if I'm looking at this right, T. Rowe Price is going to launch a XRP ETF. I think that's what they're trying to say here. XRP holders, your time has come. If you own XRP, you're holding the key to the future of global finance. Once Friday gets here, the peace deal is signed, we will get another weekend pump. Then to really send those bags up, we will be the clarity passing soon after. And I did see a lot of people talking about it. I'm not sure, guys, but it did pass the Senate Banking Committee, I think. How bad will the ETF fees be when this market really starts pumping in the trillions? I don't know, but that's why I got out the XRP market, because those fees are freaking ridiculous. Although I do have a ton of XRP ETFs, and I bought them while they were cheap. So I wonder how much they are worth now. It might be maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars, bro. I got over 190 ETFs. So I'm just saying there's probably some value in that. And hopefully the NFT, not ETF, the NFT, hopefully the NFT comes back and we're going to be rocking and rolling. But let me know what you guys think. I got a ton of ETFs, NFTs. Why do I keep saying NFTs? So what caused the XRP move? There was not just one isolated catalyst. Several forces appear to have converged. Catalyst 1, a broader risk appetite improved. XRP did not move in a vacuum. The broader crypto market improved as microeconomics and geopolitical fears eased. When Bitcoin rises in the investors, check the price real quick. Looks like it's down to $1.25. When Bitcoin rises and investors become willing to own risk assets, altcoins often benefit. XRP can outperform during those periods when it also has asset-specific news or positioning behind it. This means part of the money may be market-wide. And that is not a bad thing. Most sustainable altcoin rallies need Bitcoin to remain stable and constructive. But it means XRP must watch Bitcoin. XRP can have the best story in the room, but if Bitcoin falls through the floor, the furniture usually follows. Catalyst number 2, XRP broke multiple resistance levels. And I told you guys that was going to happen. I told you guys. I don't want to be I told you so guy, but I told you. XRP moved. Let's see if I can pull that vanilla up. But it means XRP holders must watch Bitcoin. XRP moved through approximately the $1.14, the $1.18, and the $1.20. That sequence matters. Each resistance level represented the area where sellers previously controlled the market. Once the XRP moved through above those, short sellers faced pressure, sideline traders entered, and momentum systems have begun generating big buys. The chart essentially went from please stop going down to wait a minute, this thing is trying to run. And you can clearly see here, we almost hit that $1.30. And if you've been with me since the beginning of the year, we've been watching these levels for months. The next level is that $1.30, then $1.40. I guess we can remove the $1.45 and wait for the $1.50 and keep pumping. That's on the 4-hour. Let's check the 15-minute chart. On the 15-minute chart is $1.30. On the 45-minute, it's $1.30. And I guess we'll stay on the 45-minute. And you can see it is was bullish. Looks like it's bearish now, and we're losing volume on the 45-minute. On the 2-hour, it's still very bullish, and the volume's still here. So the strongest move often happens when three groups react at the same time. Existing holders stop selling, new buyers enter, short sellers are forced to exit, and that creates an acceleration effect. Catalyst number 3, South Korea's demand. Reports highlighted increasing XRP activity on Upbit, one of South Korea's largest exchanges. South Korean traders have historically been important participants in the XRP market. Strong Korean demand can create meaningful spot market momentum, especially when XRP becomes one of the most actively traded assets on local exchanges. But watch this carefully. Korean volume can strengthen a rally, but concentrated activity on one region exchange can also create volatility. We want to see demand spread across multiple exchanges and institutional products rather than dependent entirely on one geographical market. Catalyst number 4, ETF demand. XRP investments products have reportedly accumulated approximately 1.4 billion in inflows. That provides a stronger institutional narrative than social media excitement alone. XRP ETF inflows matter because regulated products can give financial investors, asset managers, and traditional investors exposure without requiring them to manage a wallet or private keys. But here is the honest catalyst. ETF inflows do not guarantee that XRP rises every day. Price is affected by total supply, existing holders, derivative positionings, macroeconomic conditions, market maker activity, and profit taking. Institutional buyers can improve the demand foundation while price remains volatile. What catalyst matters the most? Type 1 for broader crypto recovery, 2 for technical breakout, 3 for South Korean demand, 4 for ETF inflows, and 5 for all of the above. So why the volume explosion matters? Let's spend some time on volume because this is where many content creators lose the plot. Volume, let's see if we can find the volume chart here. Can we get does it give us a volume? That's weird. That's all we get for volume? Interesting. See if I can find some volume here. When there's an XRP volume tracker. Looks like Live Coin Watch has something. Let me see what we can pull up on Live Coin Watch. Not 100% sure where the volume is on this chart. Well, that works too, actually. 30-day volume, you can see on the 90-day volume, 12-month volume, you can see here we are down at 5 billion, and we're under 5 billion at August 2025. Price was at $3 and the volume was 7.4 billion. I'm reading that right? Wait, oh man. Well, that's not gonna hurt. Tens, thousand million, yeah, 7.4 billion. So we'll leave that up for a second. Let's see what's going on in the chat before we get back to it. Tyron, the XRP ETFs will pay nice residuals in future, so just hold them and never sell them. They will be like owning Amazon stock at $20 in the early days. Please and thank you. Actually, I'm going to go back and check on that. This whole thing has got me nervous, right? I've been checking my account, and let me check my ETFs. XRP must DEO. DPEG from Bitcoin. I think it's about to actually. I think once it passes Ethereum in volume, it should be wide open. The EU just delisted the stablecoin Tether. Wow, that may be good news for USDC and RLUSD. Believe it. I wonder why they delisted Tether. That's weird. Tether will be allowed to lose its market share instead of crushing it like it should. Will be allowed to lose its market share. That's weird. Not sure that I follow what you're saying there. I hope so. And move its volume to RLUSD or USDC will be nice. You're right. And if US or RLUSD moves over to XRP and not all Ethereum, that'll be even better. I remember when USDT lost its dollar peg. I like 2K in USDT. That did it for me. USDC and RLUSD only. Yeah, I've been stop messing with Tether. But we will see what happens going forward. Let me get back to the report. So volume is not just a big number under a price chart. It measures how much XRP changes hands during a particular period. Suppose XRP rises 10% while volume declines. That could mean the rally lacks a broad participation. Now, suppose XRP rises 10% while volume triples. That tells us traders are actively repricing the asset. The latest move belongs closer to the second category. The strength that strengthens the breakout attempt, but volume has to be interpreted alongside the candle structure. Here's 4 things I watched. So the close price, did XRP merely touch resistance or did it close above it? Wicks show where price traveled. Closes show where the market agreed to finish the session. A daily close above the $1.25 can carry more weight than a brief spike to $1.28 followed by a collapse under $1.20. So where are we now? We are at $1.25. So the close is holding, right? 2, follow through. Can the session produce higher highs, higher lows? A healthy breakout often runs, cools off, retests the breakout level, then resumes upward. If it does not have to move vertically every day. In fact, a controlled pullback can be healthier than another intermediate 15% candle because it allows leverage and speculative asset to cool off. Pullback volume. When XRP pulls back, does the volume decline? Lower volume during a pullback indicates sellers' lack of conviction. But if XRP falls between $1.18 with enormous sale volume, that would tell us distribution may be occurring. Number 4, resistance behavior. The $1.27 to $1.30 region is the intermediate test. And that is where the market determines whether this is a short-term relief rally or the beginning of a broader structural recovery. This is the momentum. You stop watching the percent gain and start watching market behavior. The headline gets people through the door. The retest tells us whether they stay for dinner. Ripple reported 1 billion target. Now we come to the second major story. Ripple is reportedly targeting $1 billion annual revenue rate by the end of 2026. And that part, I'm not 100% sure where they're getting that information from. I don't know if someone did the analysis, if they already had it set up or what. So let's translate that into a normal language. A revenue run rate estimates what a company's annual revenue would look like if its current pace continued over a full year. It does not necessarily mean Ripple has already collected 1 billion during 2026. It means Ripple reportedly wants its operating business to generate revenue at a pace equivalent to roughly 1 billion annually by year end. And this expulsion of XRP holdings matter. Ripple holds a significant amount of XRP. The value of those holdings can rise or fall dramatically with the market. By excluding those holders from the market target, Ripple is emphasizing revenue generated from products and services rather than simply pointing to tokens on its balance sheet. And that is an important credibility distinction. Ripple is effectively saying, judge the operating company by business we're building, not by the value of our XRP treasury. And that is serious. It suggests Ripple wants to be valued as a diversified financial infrastructure company rather than merely a company associated with one cryptocurrency. Where might that revenue come from is what I'm trying to figure out too, guys. Where are you talking about the money coming from? How are they going to get to $1 billion in revenue, right? Where y'all getting money from, right? What are y'all selling? What do you got some tokens you're exchanging for Lambos? You got some hot market tips. What are you guys doing to generate a billy? Ripple now operates across several major categories: cross-border payments, stablecoin infrastructure through RLUSD, institutional custody, prime brokerage through Ripple Prime, liquidity services, treasury management, tokenized infrastructure, enterprise financial technology, and this is no longer a one product company making one pitch about bank transfers. Ripple is trying to create a financial stack. It wants to help businesses move money, store assets, exchange assets, manage liquidity, issue and use stablecoins, finance trading activity, and operate across traditional and digital markets. And that is a much larger addressable market. The funny line, old Ripple presentation: we can help you move money across borders. New presentation: give us payments, the custody, the stablecoin, the prime brokerage, the treasury operation, and possibly the keys to the building. Ripple is not trying to be one financial product. Ripple is trying to become the aisle at the financial supermarket. So evidence that Ripple is scaling. We should not accept a $1 billion market target merely because it makes a good thumbnail. We need evidence that the company's business is capable of scaling. Ripple says its payment platform has processed more than 100 billion in total volume, and that is processed payment volume, not company revenue. Do not confuse the two. If a company's processor handles 100 billion, it does not keep 100 billion. It earns fees or spreads from facilitating those transactions. Nevertheless, processing volume demonstrates the actual financial activity is flowing through the platform. Ripple has also said Ripple Prime tripled its revenue year over year after the company acquired the platform in 2025. Ripple Prime provides services such as institutional trading access, clearing, financing, and capital efficiency across traditional and digital markets. In May 2026, Ripple Prime secured a $200 million debt facility to expand its capabilities to finance institutional clients. That facility is another important clue. Professional lenders do not provide large facilities purely because a company has enthusiastic online community. They perform due diligence, examine collateral and revenue opportunities, risk controls, and the borrower's capacity to deploy the capital. It does not eliminate business risk. It gives Ripple institutional expansions more substance. Ripple is also expanding stablecoin powered payments. Its customers and partners have included fintechs, banks, payment companies using Ripple's infrastructure to facilitate cross-border flows, custody, and liquidity management. And this is why audiences must understand Ripple's 1 billion gold is not based solely on selling XRP. It appears connected to a broader attempt to build full service institutional platforms. Do you view Ripple's primary as a crypto company, a payment company, a future financial infrastructure company, or all of the three? I'm going to go with all of the three, Alex. So A is a crypto company, B is a payments company, C is a future financial infrastructure company, and D is all three. And we're going with D, Alex, for 300. I want intelligent arguments, not just XRP to the moon, because trust me. So this is, yes, sir, for sure. Lesson learned. We move on quickly. Does Ripple's revenue automatically increase the XRP's price? No. That answer may not produce the loudest thumbnail, but it is the honest answer. XRP and Ripple are connected, but they are not the same asset. Ripple is a private company. XRP is the native asset of the decentralized XRP Ledger. Ripple can earn revenue from products that use XRP, RLUSD, fiat currency, custody technology, treasury services, or other digital assets. Therefore, Ripple's revenues going up doesn't automatically create an equal increase in the XRP demand. And this is the same reason a successful blockchain company does not guarantee that every related token rises. The transmission mechanism matters. What we need to ask: does the product require XRP? Does using the product create recurring XRP demand? Does it lock XRP as collateral or liquidity? Does it increase XRP burns even though transaction fees burns are extremely small? Does it increase the number of institutions holding XRP? Does it deepen XRP's trading and payment liquidity? Does it bring more assets and transactions onto the XRPL? Those are the connections that matter. So for the bullish relationship, Ripple's becoming larger and more creditable can indirectly help XRP by bringing more institutions into the Ripple RL or XRPL ecosystem, improving infrastructure and liquidity, expanding regulatory relationships, encouraging developers and enterprises to build on the XRPL, increase awareness of XRP as a bridge asset, support institutional products with custody solutions. The reality check, some Ripple's products are RLUSD or fiat without requiring meaningful XRP exposure. And that is why Ripple wins and XRP wins and related propositions, but they are not identical propositions. Ripple can build a very profitable business while XRP's price remains subject to market supply and demand. The serious XRP investment thesis both require Ripple business expansion and measurable XRP utility or investment demand. This is a difference between research and hopium wearing a necktie. So for technical analysis, then we'll click to a video. Now let's examine the chart. At the time of the research, XRP was trading around $1.27 to $1.28. After breaking above $1.14, $1.18, and $1.20. Intermediate support at $1.25. The first short-term area to watch approximately is $1.25. This is close to the current breakout region, may function as the first line of defense during a shallow pullback. Holding $1.25 would show that buyers remain aggressive near the highs. However, because price moved rapidly, support at $1.25 is not yet deeply established. It needs multiple reactions and closes to gain credibility. Major breakout support, $1.20 to $1.22. This is the most important intermediate zone. XRP spent time below $1.20 and reclaiming the level changed short-term sentiment. A successful retest of $1.20 to $1.22 could be constructive. The ideal bullish pattern would be price breaks above $1.20. Price turns towards $1.25 to $1.30. Price pulls back. Buyers defend $1.20. So in here, it's $1.20 to $1.22. Somewhere in here, this is basically so where we're at now, actually. The 2-hour chart trying to get to, this is $1.20, $1.22. Price performs a higher low. The volume returns in the next upward push. That would look more like developing a trend reversal. Secondary support $1.18, which is where it was at before the rally started. If $1.20 fails, approximately $1.18 becomes the next support level. Get some water. It could automatically destroy the entire setup. But if would place XRP back inside the previous range. Critical support is $1.14. The $1.14 level, which is way down here, level was prior breakout. So yeah, we were here, somewhere in here. Let me see. Is that a prior breakout? Where's the $1.14 here? So I guess it was here, $1.13. Losing the $1.14 on strong sell pressure would be a major warning. At that stage, the market could revisit approximately $1.09. That'd be down here somewhere because $1.08, which previously functioned as the major support. Intermediate resistance $1.27 to $1.30. This is the current battlefield because there's $1.30, right? And $1.27 is here. Looks like we slipped past $1.27. A clean move and a daily close above $1.30 could strengthen the argument that buyers have regained short-term control. The key is not simply touching $1.30. We want XRP to close above it and preferably turn into support. Next resistance, $1.35 to $1.40. If XRP establishes itself above $1.30, the next major target region becomes approximately $1.30 to $5. I'm tripping. $1.35 to $1.40, and we definitely already got the $1.40 marked. This area may attract profit taking from traders who bought the June lows. This is a psychological importance because $1.40 sits near a round number zone and a previous resistance structure. The expansion target is $1.47 to $1.50. An established move above $1.40 could open a path towards $1.47 to $1.50. That would represent a much stronger recovery. However, XRP should not be considered structurally bullish merely because it reaches this area. The broader chart has damaged by the decline from early 2026 highs. A real long-term reversal requires the sequence of a higher highs and higher lows across the daily, weekly time frame. The higher context. XRP climbed as high as approximately 234 in January 2026 before entering a major correction. Therefore, even after today's rally, XRP remains well below its early year high. This is a short-term move inside the chart that has a significant overhead resistance. And this is why my position is short-term momentum bullish, medium-term reversal developing but unconfirmed, long-term bull market continuation not yet proven. So let me know what you guys think, because this analysis goes on and on and on. But I need to take a break. So let's check out the next video. Let's see what Zach has to say. Actually, let's see what Levi says. Then we'll go to Zach. And then we'll shut it down for the ZBCN update.
XRP has had one heck of a roller coaster ride over the course of the last few months. Absolutely nobody is going to deny this. But when you look at the actual facts, you look at the net selling versus net buying numbers, and you really start to break it down, you see an incredible signal that I think most people are ignoring, which frankly speaking, I need to tell you guys about right now before it is too late for many of you watching this video. Now, of course, one thing that I've covered on my channel is this golden buying opportunity, most specifically that presents itself when the 20-week SMA and the purple 200-week SMA cross. This is referred to as the golden cross, the golden buy zone, which has indicated the best time to buy XRP, to buy Bitcoin, to buy Solana, to buy Ethereum, every single prior bull market and bear market. Now, what you're probably noticing when you're looking at this chart right here is we are rapidly, and I mean rapidly approaching this golden cross once again. The 20-week SMA, which is this green line, and the purple line right here are once again approaching one another. And on this particular week, what we saw is XRP broke above the 200-week SMA before, of course, this huge rally that we just had today. I mean, just look at these numbers. Look at the price of XRP. Look at the rest of the crypto market. Yes, we did just hit the top resistance line for XRP, as you guys can see right here, and XRP is coming down a little bit following hitting that top resistance right there. But this is one heck of a rally, going from $1.13 all the way up to nearly $1.30 just over the course of the last day. I mean, this is incredible amounts of price action that we have been dreaming for quite some time. But what if I told you guys that even now, even after all of this incredibly bullish momentum and price action, and of course potentially a resolution in the Middle East and so much more, that most people are not looking at crypto at all and are selling their XRP? Well, that is the truth, guys, and that is the mistake that people are making. Right now, I want to remind you guys, we are still in the buy zone, and we still...
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. People are not really understanding what's going on. And he's right. They're probably still selling their XRP to buy into SpaceX or something other stock related. So let's get back to the video.
Still actually have not gotten the golden cross. Now, this means a couple of things. Now, I just want to zoom in and show you guys real quick right here. Remove all the noise. Just show you guys the cross, just show you guys exactly when that happened. And this literally happened the last 2 cycles, okay? So what happened the last cycle in 2022 is we broke below the 200-week SMA in May, okay? We broke below that in May, and sure enough, very shortly thereafter, XRP was trading below 30 cents a coin. And then just a little bit later, we had the golden cross. XRP was at 37 cents. And almost immediately following this golden cross, XRP went trading from 37 cents all the way up to 52 cents, nearly 2xing very shortly thereafter. And then from there, it was a nice gradual grind back up until we hit the bull market we just experienced in 2025, okay, where we hit these all-time highs in 2024, 2025. Now, what I'm here to tell you guys is that I think the exact same thing is about to play out. Okay, while it is indeed possible in the short term that we go back below $1.19, we're going to get that golden cross. And when that golden cross happens, I very strongly believe XRP is going to go from $1.20 all the way up to above $2 per coin. And this is going to take place over the next few months. I'm very, very confident in this. I'm so confident in this because every single previous bear market that we've had, whether it was 2017, whether it was 2022, whether it was what we're experiencing right now, all of these bear markets have lasted nearly exactly 1 year. I want to remind you guys that this bear market, guys, it officially started in October. That leaves us just a few more short months before this market is over. And so when I say I am buying more XRP than I have ever bought before, I am quite literally setting up a recurring buy for $1,000 every single day right now. Don't believe me? Well, let me show you. This is my recurring buy that I have right now inside of Coinbase. Check this out. This is XRP. I have an order. Buy XRP every single day. $1,000. I just sent this up today. And the reason why I am showing you this is because this $1,000 of XRP that I'm going to be buying every single day for the next 4 to 5 months is something that I believe will make me millions of dollars over the course of the next 12 months. And we're going to go back on this video. We're going to go back on the tape, and we're going to see just how legitimate this is. But XRP is not the only cryptocurrency that I am buying recurring like this. I'm also doing the same with HBAR. I'm also doing the same with actually Bitcoin. And I'm going to be doing the same with Ondo and a couple other unique picks. Now, all of this information that I'm giving you guys right now, believe it or not, I've been covering for months inside of my free Discord community. I quite literally update my traders, everyone inside of my community, exactly when I thought the bull market was, exactly when I think the bear market's going to end, all of this inside of my trading updates inside of my Discord community. I'm quite literally posting in here nearly every single day, also posting every single leverage trade that I'm doing, every single major update, like the thousands of dollars that we're giving away through the exchanges and so much more, providing you guys this immense amount of value. This is something that I have been doing ever since the previous bear market. Not the one that we're in right now, the one before, all the way back in 2024, which is when I actually started this community. And you can see my entire track record from here on until the present day. The reason why I'm telling you this is not to brag, it's to tell you that the last bear market in 2024, I made my community
is positioning
hundreds of millions of dollars. There was over $20 million of deposits on our number one exchange that I promote with mostly. Those $20 million in XRP deposits mainly went up more than 10x from when we started this community to when the bull market peaked. And inside of my Discord community, I talked about, when I was actually selling. All of my top users that are the most active in there, they got my exact signal pretty close to the top of the market when I said, okay, I'm going to be unloading the truck for XRP. And I'm telling you guys that now I'm loading the truck back up again. And I'm telling you guys also that every single move that I make from now until the peak of the next cycle, you can get access to inside of here, guys. So I'm going to leave a link to my website so that you guys can get access. It's a super easy 3-step process in order to get in there, okay? You got to sign up on our affiliated exchange, which will, by the way, also give you a massive deposit bonus and automatically enter you into a $690,000 prize pool. Then from there, you just need to deposit and trade on that exchange.
So shout out to Levi.
You guys are doing fantastic. Listen, today we're going to be talking about the only.
Trying to get another video on the background. So shout out to Levi. This is, who is this? This is Rex, I think. That was somebody else here. Coffee chat.
Morning, guys. Welcome to Coffee Chat. Oh, it is so good to come out here on this Monday morning and share this cup of coffee with you. Now, I don't know if you can hear it, but the birds are singing up a sweet, sweet tune. See if you can hear this. I don't know if you heard that or not. And over here, I got a little drip and ease, just like drip, 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 drip. And we just had an amazing rain here, kind of just washed the whole place down. And wow, is it ever beautiful when you come out after a nice fresh rain? I'll tell you that right now. Guys, it is truly wild what we're seeing in the space. Woke up today, XRP back up to what, $1.25. Just a little bit of news can move that needle. And guys, I believe that when we really get the big news, that's when this thing is going to fly. I mean, the evidence is right here. We've just gotten a little bit of news that they're kind of working things out over there in the Middle East. Now, it could be just a dog and pony show, as we all know. But just the hint of that news has caused all these markets to just go right up. And of course, XRP practically up 10% on the day. Now, the thing that I've always come out and really talked about is it's not going to be sentiment, guys, that really does move the price to these monstrous numbers that we're all believing for or waiting for, hoping for. It is going to be its application. And I know, guys, it feels like it's taken so long, but I believe we are right there. We are right there. We're at a point in history that the world has truly never seen before. I mean, when you're thinking about what's coming down the pike with all the quantum computing and the AI and all the stuff that's going down, and how it's going to change just how you and I interact with one another, how we interact with the wide world, how we do our day-to-day things, like whether it's our banking or our groceries or going to the doctor or whatever. It's going to change everything, absolutely everything. And I know it's hard to digest. Most people do not like change. In fact, most people resist change. Why? Well, because change can be scary. Because you don't see, well, what's my life going to look like on the other side of this? And that is where a lot of the college, it's so easy to kind of manipulate the herd with that mentality, acceptable emotionally to those kind of things. Well, the reality that is that the world is evolving, and we're not stopping it. I mean, come on, right now, you and I, most of you are watching on your phones. I'm recording it on my phone at 4K, if you can fathom that. And the thing is, this, guys, that was sheer and utter science fiction really not that long ago, wasn't it? And we've watched the world evolve technologically. Why, oh, why would we not believe that our financial instruments and the way the financial system works would not also evolve? And it is. It is. And this is where Judy and I get the confidence that we have in investing in XRP and different ones like XLM and Hedera Hashgraph and other ones like that. And that's where the confidence comes from, is because when you pull back the curtain and you actually see what's going on in the wide world, you know, with our financial system, the fiat systems are collapsing, nation states developing central bank digital currencies. Obviously, we're dealing with all these regulatory issues regarding a new digital economy. Of course, you got the micro regulations in the EU. We've already had the Genius Act here in the United States. And by the way, we've got, you know, the Clarity Act also coming. And so, you know, that right there is telling you that things are about to change. But the reality is most people are oblivious to those changes. Most people don't even see it as an opportunity. And in fact, when you're reading the comments in the section, oh, they want you just absolutely riddled with that kind of anxiety, fear, uncertainty, doubt, and all that goes with that. When in fact, you watch and see what takes place with a lot of the major players right now. And they are going to literally go like crazy. They are, guys. You can't believe what they tell you. You got to look at what they're doing. That's how Judy and I are digesting things. And right now, you are seeing some major movement. Now, I see a little black on my thumb right there, just because I had a little marker over there, and I was writing some stuff down with it, and it got on me. But the thing is this, guys, if you were able to spend the amount of time it took to really dive in and research this, then a lot of confidence would be built up in you right here. Now, I know it's difficult because, of course, we all got workaday lives. I mean, you know, I remember what the rat race was like, getting up at near 5:30 just to kind of get yourself ready and out the door so that you could race down the highway, catch a train to go all the way down, you know, all that kind of stuff and everything like that. Then, of course, you know, if you have kids, well, you're dropping them off at school or daycare, whatever. And it just feels like your time is completely evaporated just like that. So what happens in that situation is we've gotten so a microwave society that we don't really like. We just microwave everything, right? We microwave, you know, when I say microwave, I'm talking about an instant society, right? We got, and disposable at that, throw away pens, throw away this, we buy stuff to throw away. And then we just kind of microwave everything, our intimacy with one another and all that kind of stuff. It is a hamster wheel that you want to get off of. Take the time, make the time, guys, to sit yourself down, carve out at least an hour a week if you can, and really research what's going on. Because I'll tell you what, when this whole thing goes down and post clarity, you watch and see how they just literally start dumping it on us. And I mean big time. These assets are going to fly. I genuinely do believe it. And they have the potential to change the fortune of your life generationally. I was reading an article this morning how a major Bitcoin maxi who has been investing Bitcoin for years actually came out and said, hey, XRP holders are about to experience generational wealth. You can read the article right down in the description of this video. Now, said all that. When you get past that, you get past price appreciation, and you're talking about that generational wealth. Well, guys, I'm going to tell you one thing. You are going to want to preserve it. It is not just accumulating it. It is preserving it. And one thing that we're looking at and doing is with I Trust Capital, who, by the way, has partnered up with us. Now, I Trust Capital, guys, these are probably one of the only people I know that have done it so successfully to be able to allow you and I to hold our digital assets right in IRAs. And in fact, in a Roth IRA where you do not even have to pay taxes on those gains. That is phenomenal. I mean, we look for tax avoidance, plans all the time. Judy and I have literally paid, multiple 5 figures for tax plans after we, saw our price appreciation. We never had that kind of wealth before. And then once we got it, we knew we need to have some expertise to manage it, to keep it, right? Because a lot of people, they get the wealth and literally within about 2 to 3 years, they're right back to broke. We did not want that. So we developed a tax plan. Well, big time in tax plans and stuff like that, of course, is avoiding paying massive tax.
XRP versus SpaceX. Today we break down the
So shout out to the digital investor. We're going to watch this for a couple minutes and we'll shut it down because the next video for a ZBCN will be starting soon as well.
the facts and the numbers behind the ROI that each one of these investment opportunities could give you. I'm not here to tell you what to do or give you financial advice, but we are going to lay out the facts, which is if we assume, and it's a big assumption, I guess, that XRP is going to $10, that would be an 800% ROI or a 9x return on investment. Now, for SpaceX to give you that same ROI, we'd be looking for SpaceX to go from just shy of that $2 trillion valuation it went public at to a $15 trillion market cap. Now, $15 trillion market cap, this is bigger than the 3 most valuable companies on Earth combined. So today I'm laying out the numbers side by side, help you make the decision. And it is June 2026 as we record this update. It's Monday, June 15th to be exact. And we got SpaceX trading up on its second day of trading over a $2 trillion market cap. XRP moving back up as well. But as I put together the numbers here, we're just going to round off and keep the math simple. XRP at a $70 billion market cap. SpaceX at $1.75 trillion valuation as it went IPO. What is the better opportunity? Now, for the new folks here, my name is Zach Rector. We cover current events, financial markets, and the greatest transfer of wealth in world history. Make sure you guys subscribe and hit that notification bell if you appreciate what we're doing. And let's get right on into the math. So, as I'm recording this, XRP was down at $1.13 over the weekend. That was the $70 billion market cap. We've traded back up a little bit here this morning, but I'm just going to run with the numbers that I originally pulled to make the math simple for everybody to understand. So XRP, 62 billion circulating supply on the tokens. And this gives us that $70 billion market cap. While we're looking here, XRP going to $10, this would take the market cap to $600 billion, right? From $1.13 to $10 is around 9 times your money, about 800%. And at $10 with 62 billion tokens in supply, XRP's market cap goes from 70 billion to roughly $620 billion. Now, sit with that number for a second, right? $620 billion. That's a massive number, but in the world of global finance, cross-border payments and tokenized assets and the utility that we see XRP targeting, it's not only, relatively low, it's actually just a drop in the comparison, a clean, pure comparison, because we're comparing a stock of an individual company versus a technology, right? A currency, a settlement layer for a new financial system. Not apples to apples, but for where should I put my money today? We're comparing the investment opportunity, right? And so we got to look at the market cap and the proper way to use market cap here, which is to understand the amount of tokens that are in supply versus today's price. That's what gives us the market cap. Now, one variable that I want to mention that could change this equation, something to be considered, is with 62 billion circulating supply, between now and the next 5 years, that circulating supply is going to grow. Now, is it going to go to the full 100 billion circulating supply and total supply of XRP? Probably not, right? But between somewhere at 62 billion circulating supply today and 100 billion total supply, right? If you wanted to just take the fully diluted value, which instead of taking the circulating supply times today's price to give us that market cap, the fully diluted value takes total supply times price to give you the fully diluted value. That's a different number. And at a 100 billion circulating supply, $10 XRP, that would still only be a $1 trillion market cap. So both of these numbers are doable, right? Whether we're at the 600 billion market cap number or the 100 billion fully diluted value, we're talking about XRP at a $10 price. Very doable for XRP from a price standpoint and very reasonable from a market cap standpoint or a fully diluted value standpoint when you're looking at the 600 billion to the $1 trillion valuation that we would be looking at. And it doesn't change the thesis. Even in the worst case for my argument, XRP having to support a full $1 trillion market cap at $10, that's still a fraction of what SpaceX has to do for the same return. So I'm flagging it as a variable to consider, but does it change our thesis? No, and you're going to find out why here next. So when we look at SpaceX, right, this company just went public, record-breaking IPO, the largest one we've ever seen. Not only did it have the largest IPO as far as capital that they raised, right, from the public offering, but also it went public at the largest valuation ever, $1.75 trillion. Now, for SpaceX to deliver that 9x that I'm projecting for XRP, and many of you guys are going to comment down below and tell me how conservative a $10 XRP is, right? And when I'm looking at timeline, this could happen in a year, even 3 to 5 years out, right? Let's say it takes 5 years for XRP to reach $10. I think many people say it'll happen sooner. But worst case scenario, right? To make this comparison and to keep it conservative and to remove our XRP bias. Everybody knows we love XRP, but we remove all of that, right? And we go with the worst case scenario. It takes 5 years to reach $10. Can SpaceX go to a $15 to $16 trillion valuation in that same time period? That is the comparison that we have to make, right? SpaceX has to go from a $1.75 trillion IPO valuation to $15.75 trillion to give you the same ROI that you would get investing in XRP now and writing XRP up to just a $10 price target. Now, a $15 trillion valuation, I'm sure that we'll eventually have a company reach that level, right? NVIDIA, I think, is just shy of about $5 trillion right now. But when you combine the largest 3 companies in the world as it stands right now, they don't equal $15 trillion. So for SpaceX to go there, we're literally talking about creating a new reality, which I understand that's part of SpaceX mission, right? Big, and I want to be very clear. I'm not here to FUD SpaceX. I'm not here to knock Elon Musk. I mean, first trillionaire, sure. I'm not here to say that he shouldn't be a trillionaire or anything silly like that. I wouldn't waste our time talking about so there is some of that rhetoric and that chatter. I'm here to celebrate Elon Musk becoming the first trillionaire. I'm here to celebrate our capital markets having its largest IPO ever. But in reality, we have to understand what happened here. SpaceX went public after 20 years of raising a boatload of money in the private equity market. In the private capital markets, in the early investors, the accredited investors, the qualified purchasers, the VCs, the funds that got in on SpaceX over the past 20 years, those are the people who are making the big money. Is retail Joe Blow coming in here to buy SpaceX at a $2 trillion valuation? Do they have an incredible opportunity in front of them? Maybe, right? But I just look at the odds of XRP going to $10 over the next 3 to 5 years versus SpaceX going to a $15 trillion valuation over the next 3 to 5 years. Which is more likely, right? Have we seen cryptos go to a 600 billion market cap before? Absolutely. Hey, Bitcoin has, Ethereum has. We have seen this before, and it's well within our reach for XRP to go to that valuation. And I've ran through the numbers with the market cap multiplier on how little money would actually have to inflow to XRP for us to go up to that market cap. We don't need 600 billion of new capital coming in for us to go to that valuation. We've shown that math time and time again. And, you know, a lot of people coming from a traditional background investing in stocks, right? It's really hard for them to grasp that. How could XRP go to a $600 billion market cap, right? And we really blew their minds with XRP just going to a 150, $200 billion market cap last year. They couldn't comprehend that, right? But just like they struggled to see it when we reached a $200 billion market cap, their heads are going to explode when we reach a $600 billion to a $1 trillion market cap, which is in the near future for XRP. Now for SpaceX.
Okay, guys, we'll close this down. Peter, I'm working on the ZBIC video now. It's coming up at 6:15. Tune back in for the live stream. I'm wrapping this one up, and then we'll start going back over to XRP. What up? I mean, ZBIC. What up, Cajun Crypto? All right, you guys get ready to join the ZBIC live stream. Let me shut this guy down. You can find the rest of this video. I'll put the link in the description. You guys can finish watching this. But as mentioned, we need to get to our ZBIC live stream, which is coming up real quick. Let me see what happened here. So this is the ZBIC video. So thanks, guys, for joining the XRP. Let me shut this guy down. I'm looking for the outro as we speak. That's weird. Where's the dang live stream content? So this is, dang it. That's weird. Okay, here we go. Before we close, give me your XRP weekend predictions. Dang it, I keep going back to freaking XRP closes above $1.40. XRP remains $1.20 to $1.40. XRP falls back below $1.20. XRP shocks everyone and breaks $1.50. Put your answers and your exact price prediction in the chat. I'll return to this live stream after the weekend to see who understood the chat and who was performing financial astrology. So here's the final message. 13% move matters. Volume explosion matters. Ripple reported $1 billion revenue target matters, but none of this facts should be exaggerated. Ripple has not already generated $1 billion in 2026 revenue. Ripple revenue does not automatically flow into XRP, and the daily breakout does not confirm a completely new bull market. The strongest bullish confirmation will be XRP holds above $1.20, establishing a near support $1.25 and closing decisively above $1.30. The warning signs would be lost of $1.18 followed by $1.14. Watch the levels, watch the volume, watch Bitcoin, and stop allowing people with light rings and no risk management to make your financial decisions. Subscribe to BTM Crypto News Network, turn on the notifications, and share the live stream with the XRP community. We're not here to sell fantasies. We're here to study money, follow infrastructure, and identify the move before everyone else starts pretending they saw it coming. Facts first, hype second. BTM Crypto News Network, where the news is real and analysis is honest, and the moon boots stay in the closet until the chart earns them. So thanks for joining. As always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Pick up the ZBIC stream at 6:15. And as always, let's get back to the money, guys, and stay dangerous. Miners out.